Hello everybody and welcome to another 20-minute strength exercise tutorial. Today we're going through the lateral lunge. Now this is a fantastic exercise for exposing you to much more dynamic side-to-side movements that's often missing from strength training programs. The lateral lunge is an exercise that strengthens our quads and our glute muscles, working one leg at a time, as well as strengthening the muscles on the inside of our thigh, the adductor muscles. Developing strength through lateral movement obviously has fantastic carryover when it comes to sports like tennis, squash, football, rugby, and anything that needs that change of direction. But also it just benefits us through everyday life, creating a nice strong foundation for anything that life throws at you. For this exercise, we recommend grabbing a nice sturdy chair to have in front of you, particularly if you're just starting out with this movement. And then we're going to come to a wide stance in front of that chair. Now you might be inclined to keep the stance quite narrow, but really the wider the better with the lateral lunge, because this just allows you to get nice and deep into one side and then the other as we alternate. So find that nice wide stance. You've got the chair in front of you for support as you need it. And then what we're going to do is just sit into one side as that knee travels over the toes, and then drive with the full foot pushing the ground away as you come back to a stand. You're then going to switch sides. So my weight goes into my right leg as I come down into this bottom position. The right knee is traveling over the right toes, and then I push the ground away with my whole foot as I come back up to a stand. You'll see that I hinge the butt back a little bit, just because we don't want to be folding over too much as we come into this position, but we want to make sure the butt goes back and we're using the strength of our glutes to help us as we push back up. As you get more and more confident in this movement, you can come deeper into the lunge itself. So think about really extending this leg out as you bring the knee over the toes on this side and then driving back up. If you feel like you're really comfortable with this movement, what you can do is even turn the toes up on the side of your straight leg to get nice and deep into the lateral lunge, and also feel a stretch coming through the inside of the thigh on this straight leg here. Drive yourself back up. Keep alternating throughout the set. If you feel like you're confident enough to not have the chair in front of you, I'd recommend taking a step back, but still having it at kind of arm's length, just in case you need it. And then keeping your hands in front of you. Remember, we're hinging the butt back as we sit down into one side, really focusing on unilateral strength. So the strength in one leg as we drive back up and switch sides. Now, we've already spoke about how you can make the exercise more challenging by increasing that range of motion and pointing the toes up towards the ceiling on that long leg. But what you can also do is increase the weight. So if you've taken your hands away from the chair, you can also grab a dumbbell or a pair of dumbbells or any heavy objects you have lying around the house, come back into that lateral lunge position. And this weight is just going to add a little bit more intensity in this bottom position here as we load that leg and then drive back up. What you could also do, if it's easier, if you have a backpack lying around at home, you could add the weights into your backpack. That way the weight's not in front of you, but it's behind you, and it's just a different challenge. I really like the weight out in front of me just because it challenges your core a little bit more when we're holding something in front of us rather than it being on our back. But you can choose. It's whatever you prefer, whatever you find most challenging. If you find this exercise particularly difficult at the start, I recommend just decreasing the range of motion. So the inverse is what we've done to make it harder. And you can just come into this shorter range of motion, making sure you're gaining confidence with the movement before you increase the depth that you're coming to. What you could also do is have the chair behind you as a point of reference. So what I do is set the chair up so it's on one side, come into that nice wide stance. And I'm actually just going to sit down onto that chair and then come back up, okay? So my butt's still going backwards. I'm still hinging the hips backwards. Sitting down onto the chair so you have your point of reference, you're not coming too deep. And then from here, I'm driving through my foot on the right hand side here as I come back to a stand, okay? This just gives you a little bit more support, and then once you feel comfortable, you can take the chair away, or if you've got something lower that you would want to progress onto, you can do that as well. As always, make sure you follow and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all of these exercise tutorials. And if you haven't checked out 20-Minute Strength already, head over to our website and find out how you can get strong in just 3 20-minute workouts a week. Bye.